Grand Marnier in the coffee, girl. Hit every time, baby. Hit every time. Shout out to my auntie Debbie, baby. Rest in peace. Hey, y'all. What's really hood? It's DDT once again, and this is another Human AF transmission. And I promise, an actual podcast episode is coming out soon. Do not give up on me just yet. I'm still fumbling, girl. I'm still working on my consistency. Okay, for the girls who struggle with consistency, we're still in this fight, girl. We're still in this fight. We just got to hang on. You know what I'm saying? Every day is another opportunity to get it right. And that's the way I'm looking at the situation. Instead of, being judgmental and being harsh with myself, I'm going to just say, every day is another opportunity to get right. Anyway, girl. So today I want to talk to y'all about some weird astrology shit. And it's very specific to a certain sign, right? My sign, Aries. If you not into that shit, by all means, continue to scroll. We don't need you here. Fuck you. Your cynicism is not welcome. Anyway, for those who remain, I don't know if y'all watched it, but I watched the Selena Y Los Dinos and the Being Eddie documentaries. And I noticed one huge thing that stood out to me in both of their documentaries, and that is certain omissions. Selena y Los Dinos, for those who are not aware, because what are you living under a rock? I don't know. But Selena Quintanilla, the diva, she died March 31st, 1995, due to a gunshot wound from somebody who was close to her. Huge betrayal, right? Huge betrayal. And, that's not necessarily the most important thing about Selena, but that is the thing that we all remember, that she died way too young, that she was killed by somebody who was close to her, and it devastated, an entire community of people. It was heartbreaking. And so I watched the Selena Y Los Dinos documentary, and I noticed that not one time did anybody in that film mention the name Yolanda Salazar. Not one time. Didn't show her face. Do you hear me? She was not a part of the story. When they talk about the day she passed, the day she was shot, they kind of speak of it quickly, just as just the facts, maybe how they felt when they found out, what they were doing when they found out, things like that, how they found out. But they didn't talk about the shooting itself. And they definitely didn't say shit about the shooting. When I tell you they did not say her name, they didn't even look like they, it looked very intentional. She had her mama, her daddy, her sister, her brother, her husband, her her bandmates, people, the closest people to her in her life loved her dearly. Not one of them said that woman's name. And it's like that they were all in agreement. They were all on one accord that we're not giving any clout to the name or the memory of a woman who took something so precious from us in such a cold, callous, just disgusting way, right? And that stood out to me because Selena is an Aries. And one thing about an Aries girl, if you fuck over me, if you betray me, you're dead to me. Your name will never leave my lips again for as long as I live. I don't want to hear about you. I don't want none of the homies, none of the mutual homies coming to me saying, "Oh, girl, you heard such and such fell on hard." I don't want to hear none of it. I don't want to revel, or relish in their downfall. I don't want to talk shit about them, commiserate with other people who don't like. Keep it out my energy. Keep that person completely out of my energy. So even though Selena is the Aries and she's gone, the way her family rallied around her in that way, it was screaming Aries. Because one thing about us, baby, we are loyal to our families. And that's another thing that stood up. She was down for her folk, and her folk was down for her. She was the band leader. She was steering the ship, and they were 100% behind her. And she didn't rule with an iron fist. She led with love. She led with a passion for what she was doing, and they rallied behind her because through her passion they believed in her as well. Such an Aries vibe, like such an Aries thing. Like, I'm not gonna lead by pointing and telling you what to do. I'm gonna lead by being an example of who I need you to be with me. I'm gonna show you how I want us to move as a unit by doing it myself. And I want to make such a good show of that you are more than happy to follow behind me in that pursuit. So 100% Aries diva. She died in Aries season. She died the day before my 10th birthday, actually. So an Aries dying in Aries season, like when somebody dies in their season, that's like, it's really impactful, I find. Now Eddie, who is still with us. So he's here telling his own story, right? He's saying it in his own words. And he notably omitted two things. He didn't say shit about his first marriage with Nicole Murphy, and he didn't say a damn thing about the situation with him being caught with that transvestite, trans girl, whatever happened back then in the 90s. So I don't remember the full details of it. I probably should have looked it up before I started this, but I do remember when I was a kid, everybody was talking about how Eddie Murphy got caught with a trans woman. Was it Vegas? It was somewhere. LA? I forget where it is. But basically, he was trying to say that he was just helping her with her car and all this other stuff, but it looked like it was something deeper than that. Like, he was trying to say that, oh, he picked up on the side of the road because she was having car trouble, but it was looking more like he was a John or something. You know what I'm saying? It was looking more of like he was being serviced by one of the dolls. Loosely, that's what I remember. But it was definitely some shady shit that went away very quickly, which says a lot because in the 90s, as a black man, being caught in that type of compromising position should have destroyed him, should have completely obliterated his reputation. Not Eddie, baby. Why? Because he just kept sticking and moving. He didn't really address it, rolled right over it. And that's such an Aries thing to do. Baby, what you're not going to do is lock me down in an embarrassment. You cannot make me be embarrassed for you people. I refuse to do it. So even though he might have been in some shit, baby, I'm not going to cop to that. So when I saw that, I was like, damn, Eddie, that was Aries vibes screaming at me. And then with the situation with his wife, it could be just that it's something that hurt him a lot. Maybe the divorce wasn't, I don't know. This is me just guessing based on his omission. Maybe he felt really betrayed by her. He was really hurt by that situation. Maybe he never wanted to get a divorce. He never thought that would be him that would be in such a position to get divorced. Whatever the case, whether it's a failure or a heartbreak, and Aries is not going to talk about that. And I could tell it had to hurt him a lot by the omission of it. Like, basically, it was just like a real quick couple sentences about when his first marriage ended and all this other stuff. I don't think they even said Nicole's name. They might have said Nicole's name. I don't even remember hearing it. So that was loud to me. I was like, damn, he must be still really feeling a way about that. He must really be on some fuck her for real. I think she got a lot of money from him. I don't remember what it was, but I do remember it was a little bit messy. I was real young at the time, so I wasn't really in grown folks' business like that. Certainly not grown celebrities' business. But I do remember it being kind of greasy because we don't like feeling weak. You know what I'm saying? We would rather just treat any hardship, any failure, any embarrassment like a speed bump. Just right over it. It might slow us down for a second, but I'm not gonna stay there. Even with this whole comedy stuff, like, I would rather not be around than reckon with or wrestle with the notion that I have not achieved what I set out to achieve, right? I would rather just be absent than be reminded everywhere I turn of how much I don't like where I am, or how much I feel, embarrassed that my second album recording did not materialize. You know what I'm saying? Even after 3 attempts. And the way the way that last show went, baby, I'll never speak of it again. Okay, that was hard for me. Like, it was really hard for me. I didn't eat for 3 days after that shit. Like, I passed out because I hadn't eaten for 3 days. I went to the emergency. It was crazy. Do you hear me? It was a rough time. And so instead of being present in that embarrassment and just letting it show on me, I would rather just disappear and come back when I'm better, when I feel healed, when I feel strong again. Because when I'm feeling weak, I don't want to be in other people's energy when I'm weak. I don't want to be at risk for those type of kind of psychic attacks, as it were. Because something that I'm intimately familiar with when it comes to human nature is the way that we either purposely or just, by our nature, people take advantage of weakness. And it's not always intentional. Sometimes it's just a defense mechanism that other people have. If they see weakness in you, they'll exploit it because they feel that they're in a weakened position. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that. I'm not gonna lie to myself about the reality of that in us as humans. And instead of allowing myself to be susceptible to it, I'd rather remove myself from the situation entirely and just not talk about it. So me even saying this right now is a lot. So for Eddie, the way he handled that with the divorce and with, the pain of losing his brother, and with that real embarrassing situation with that trans girl, I completely understand why we didn't hear shit about it. I saw people on thread saying why he didn't say nothing about this. He didn't mention it at all. Girl, I know why. Because it hurt. Because it made him look bad. And we don't have time for that. Even when he was talking about how he was nominated for that award and he didn't get it. He wasn't mad that he didn't get it. He was mad that they got him to get all the way to the award show to not give him the award. Nigga, you could have denied me for the award at my house. Why y'all had me come all the way down here and sit up in here with all these people and made me put on a tuxedo and all that just for me to not win? Why y'all gotta look up in my face to see me lose? Fuck y'all. Why y'all gonna let me? Y'all should have told me out the gate that I wasn't winning. I'm cool with being nominated. I don't need to be out amongst these people as I lose. What the hell? What, you want to see my reaction? You want to see my face? You want to see it on me? No. You and I make a spectacle out of my failure. How dare you? Like, it just as an Aries, I felt it. And I'm not saying that it's right. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that this trait that we have is correct. I'm just saying that I'm intimately familiar with it. I had a visceral reaction to that, what Eddie did. So, right or wrong, my nigga, I get it. And the funny thing about Aries, everybody expects us to be these really loud, boisterous, confrontational people. But most of the Aries I know are the most chill people you ever meet. That's when people say, like, because, it's more in the discussion, right? It's more in the cultural, social discussion about astrology and your signs and stuff. And me, I'm somebody who has studied it a bit. So I know we're more than just our sun sign. The fact that I'm born on April 1st isn't just about me being an Aries. Like, I have a whole chart that comes into play when it goes along with my personality and how it shows up. So when people say, oh, you an Aries? I don't think I know any Aries. I always say the same thing. I said, an Aries, we just not loud about that shit. We chill. You're not walking in the room, Aries, Aries. We don't do that, man. We don't. That's silly to us. I'm not trying to make a spectacle of myself. So many Aries I know are super shy. So shy, like the quietest, most introverted people that you would ever meet have been Aries in my life. Just super chill, but friendly. You know what I'm saying? Not quiet in a, like a messy petty or I'm better than you or fuck people. It just really just like, I'm just in the background, girl. And I'm okay with that. I don't mind, not being the center of attention in a social setting. But when you have people like Eddie, like Selena, who are performers in such huge ways. Like they were both so hugely important to the culture. There are so many comedians who will mention Eddie Murphy as an inspiration. You know what I'm saying? As a reason why they do this, a reason why they wanted to be a comedic actor, a reason why they wanted to pursue so many different. Because he did everything. He was an actor. He was a stand-up comedian. He has songs. He has, chart-topping songs. This man has done it all, right? And he has excelled at it all. But he still is the person, by his own admission, and according to people close to him, he's not gonna be that dude at the party, being the center of attention. He'll leave the party early. He'll be in the back with his little drink. He don't drink. He don't do drugs like that. Like, he didn't start smoking weed till he was grown. Like, so many things that he said resonated with me because I do drink, right? But I didn't even smoke weed until I was, I think, 20. And even now, it's like something that I don't really do. Like, it's kind of like, I've never tried hard drugs. Even as a stand-up comedian, when I've been surrounded by it, being around drug dealers when I was younger, I never even thought to try it, right? I never wanted an X pill. I don't want coke. I've never even been tempted by it. It doesn't even make sense. And somebody like Selena, she was so chill. She was this dynamic force on stage, right? People would go crazy for Selena. She was such a dedicated performer. She had such passion. But when she was off stage, she was just a girl. You know what I'm saying? She was just a girl. She wasn't drawing all the attention to her on purpose. She was just, I'm chilling. I'm with my people. I'm with my folk. We just laughing, clowning, having a good time. So those things were just so loud. You know what I'm saying? They were just so loud about them. I'm like, this is Aries as fuck. I didn't even realize Selena was an Aries until I started watching the movie. Her birthday, April 16th. I had no idea. But I always got Taurus vibes from her. Taurus, Libra. And when you put that together, right, Aries. So yeah, it definitely tracks now that I think about it. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was very interesting. And for all you astro girlies out there, let me know in the comments what you think about that, right or wrong. Because I know I got a lot of homies that are into the astro thing. So, like, comment, share or something, girl. And as usual, I am DDT and we're human as fuck. Bye.